Closer in time.
Demonstrating Americans' penchant for engaging in waves of cultural nostalgia for eras that occurred roughly one generation prior, in 2023, Netflix premiered That 90s Show, a reboot of Fox's popular That 70s Show, which aired for 8 seasons and was itself vaguely reminiscent of ABC's Happy Days, which aired for 11 seasons in the 1970s and early 80s and was similarly set 20 years earlier. When Happy Days premiered, the United States was in the midst of a major 50s nostalgia craze, notably seen in the Broadway sensation and blockbuster film Grease and the box office smash American Graffiti, which is actually set in the early 60s, but same basic deal. The public longed for a time of perceived innocence before the Vietnam War, campus protests, and a general loss of trust in government. Furthermore, the music of the 50s and early 60s had a sunnier, simpler quality. It lacked the blunt edges, combative guitar work, and sexual explicitness of the hippie era. Likewise, the 1990s saw a sudden interest in nostalgia for the 70s, fueled by the myriad ways in which culture and society were restricted during the censorship-heavy 1980s. Musicians and filmmakers had far more freedom in the 70s, which certainly appealed to a generation that was enjoying its own boom of independent film and musical expression. Our current nostalgia for the 90s is perhaps easiest of all to grasp. It was the last time before smartphones took over our lives, and that alone is reason enough to crave a return to this simpler time. Or perhaps it's just as simple as everyone pining for their own lost youth. Indeed, common to period productions, That 70s Show, like its predecessor Happy Days, played heavy on era nostalgia, bathing the audience with rather deliberate and conspicuous cultural references.
One suitable for Scooby-Doo and his gang of cartoon teenagers.
Luke Skywalker this, Luke Skywalker that.
Blue, it's like the beginning to love American style.
Shut up and eat your cornflakes. Well, thank God for the honest ones like Richard Nixon, huh?
Oh no, that is not the devil's music.
How about a little mood music, huh? Zeppelin or Foghat?
Like Donny Osmond?
Yeah, nicknamed Pink Floyd.
Ladies and gentlemen, Aerosmith!
Oh, it plays records and 8-tracks? This thing's like right out of the future.
Keep my hands off my pudding pop.
What happened to my Led Zeppelin 8-track?
So you must really love Led Zeppelin. I told him I was Jimi Hendrix.
Crap, is that an Evel Knievel stunt cycle? Or so I can eat pizza and listen to Neil Sedaka.
That would be the Aerosmith poster. Who would win in a fight, Bigfoot or Chewbacca?
On the other hand, That 90s Show is a storyline time shift of That 70s Show, reprising the roles of many of the actors while layering a cast of young actors to serve as the spawn of the youngsters from That 70s Show. That 90s Show's nostalgic dimension seems much more geared toward original fans of That 70s Show than it is for the era in which it is set. It seems unlikely that the new incarnation will match the old show's 8-season run, in part because viewers now have so many shows and films with 90s themes from which to choose, to say nothing of YouTube videos where they can experience the real thing.
Don't worry, honey. I got it.
Okay, here we go. The premiere of That 70s Show is closer in time to the date in which it is set than to the premiere of That 90s Show by about 2 years. It is also closer in time to the premiere of That 90s Show than it is to the premiere of Happy Days by 71 days. The setting of the premiere episode of That 70s Show is closer in time to its premiere than the setting of That 90s Show's premiere to its premiere episode by about 5 years. Unlike That 70s Show and That 90s Show, it is not made clear exactly when the events of Happy Days take place, but it is generally understood to take place in the late 1950s and early 60s, ending around 1965. The end of the run of Happy Days on ABC is closer in time to the beginning of its fictional events in the 1950s than it is to the premiere of that 90s show by about 13 years. And the premiere of that 90s show is closer in time to the last episode of Happy Days than the last episode of that 70s show is to the fictional events of the last episode of Happy Days by about 3 years. That 80s show. Well, there actually was a That 80s show that ran for 13 episodes before being canceled back in the early aughts, but enough is enough, I think. Thanks for watching.